This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Might Get Weird. I kind of want to start saying, like, what episode number it is at the top of this.
What is it?
It's impressive. It's got to be 400 and something, right? Is that crazy?
I
No,
don't
that'd
know.
be like 8 years.
I don't think we're in the 400s yet. We're at 340. Last week was 339.
So welcome back to the 340th episode of This Might Get Weird.
Is that psychotic?
It's kind of psychotic. Especially because we're just a weekly podcast. Like there's some people who do it a couple times, but it's amazing to me that if someone found us or if someone recommended us or, you know, as I'm told every time I put a TikTok up that people are like, you still are alive.
Yeah.
Like if someone discovered us that they could literally listen to an episode of our podcast a day for over a year.
Yeah, that's why.
No, how many days are there?
365
Almost,
in the year.
Almost.
People's fingers were salivating above a keyboard to tell you that there were 365 days in the year.
This idiot. I'm getting dumber by the day.
Same. I'm getting more emotional and stupider by the day. My hormones are crazy.
I was going to say, is it your cycle or is it the cycle of life?
So I think all of it crashing together at once. But like, I have been crying but like for emotional reasons. Like I did this BuzzFeed interview the other week. They're doing this series about like old school YouTubers and like really diving into like when they decided to walk away, and they started asking me about Goose, and I just started,
oh my God,
I started crying. They asked me about a full circle moment that meant something to me. I talked about when my dad came to see me on Jimmy Fallon. I started crying. They asked me about breast cancer. Didn't cry at all.
Oh my God.
So I was like, it's just been right below the surface for little unexpected triggers here and there.
Have you seen other interviews from that series, and are other people crying?
No, I was the first one they interviewed.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, maybe other people will cry.
Because I'm very available right now, and I'm saying yes to things. So I think they were surprised that I came and did it. And I was like, I'm around.
Also, you've been doing your live show. So I feel like, you know, that's talking about the emotional journey. So you're meeting people, you have the energy in the room. So I feel like that keeps emotions kind of like at the surface.
Also, I'm pushed into, menopause in my body anyway. So my hormones are literally all over the place. So it's just all par for the course at this point.
I need one of those panels done. I need someone to go, you need to take testosterone.
How are your hormones?
Well, here's the thing. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. I am burning up every single night, but I also don't know if that's me or if that's the fact that I sleep with two hairless dogs.
It's you.
Just up beside me. Is it me?
I think we're at the age where it's our bodies now.
Sleep directly under the AC blasting, and I am still like...
Yeah, the hot flashes, they take no prisoners. Truly, they're ruthless. It is comical, like the sensation that takes over your body. Have you seen that video that went viral of the woman's head emitting steam?
Smoking.
Yeah, from a hot flash, that it's like, wow, that's what it feels like.
It feels like it all the time. Yeah, emotions are high. I mean, the world is crazy. So obviously every morning it's like waking up to be like, fuck, what happened?
Yeah, it is
what
a lot of whiplash.
Beautiful bullshit did they pass?
Exactly.
So emotions are up there. Speaking of emotions. Okay, so Chip and I were doing some cameos.
Yeah, for his Mongol rally.
For his trip. You guys, if you're listening to this when it comes out on the 2nd or the 3rd, you still have time to get a cameo because he leaves on July 4th. And so we were doing him because he's going on this crazy ass trip.
Yeah.
And they raise money. It raises money for Cool Earth, which is like a climate change, like helping people displaced by climate change.
Amazing.
And so we're doing some cameos for that. But... So he wore his full like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z outfit.
He's Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah. So he had this outfit, but he no longer had the wig. And like very last minute, he was like, oh, wait a second. And he had these sunglasses that have the hair.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a full look. I did not wear a costume. He will be back in this costume if you order a cameo. But
Excellent.
what killed me is besides the fact that I'm you look at the little screen while you're doing the cameo, and I'm seeing his reflection.
Yeah, you put on your story the screenshot of it, and I was cracking up. It looks like you have a filter on him, but it's like, no, that's a real costume. He is committed to the bit here, and I appreciate it. And his face doesn't change at all.
Not once. But so it was killing me though, because we were doing some of the cameos, and they're always great. They're like, wish this person a happy birthday, or like, would you rather, or just like, I'm just doing this to support you, to go on your trip. But there were a couple that were like a little emotional, like with a friendship problem, or with like, this is really sad or whatever. But doing those and having Chip dressed as Dragon Ball Z, I was like, I started cracking. One of the cameos, it was like, hey, I had the ants characters do a cameo for my cat.
Yeah.
Here's an update on my cat. She's got diabetes. So like, there was just one point where Chip is dressed and he's like, sorry about your cat. Like he's just like, I was just like, what is my life? What is my life right now?
Okay. Your life is the life as a little girl you wish to have.
Okay.
So
there's those emotions.
I know. I'm telling you, they're right there. I was after the show in St. Louis, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I was like a little high after the show because I just eat all those little edibles as soon as the show is done.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, I'm free from performance. Here we go. I can zip to the moon. And I was walking around the hotel room just looking at Elliot, and I was so jazzed from everything. I was like, it's okay to love your life sometimes. Because I was like, we were sitting in bed eating like room service cake. The show went so well. Everyone was so nice. The Pride gave me an award. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Everything was just like, and I'm so superstitious about enjoying good things. Like I think they'll get taken away or somehow they'll disappear. And so I was like, it's okay to love your life, right? And Elliot was like, yes, it's okay to do that. The world's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's hard to, really feel not selfish having those kind of feelings at the same time.
Take the happiness where you can get it.
Yeah. So like you and Chip sitting there as full adults engaged, and he's in a costume and he's raising money for this insane, like, cross the globe trip that he's going on, while you just released a cookbook and you have these two hairless dogs. Like,
life is good.
Is good.
Like Grace, what are you doing to me? Oh my! Well, okay, I'm gonna bring us back down to earth.
Yeah, bring me down a peg.
Let me tell you about a critter corner. Yeah, it is critter corner, y'all. It is critter corner, y'all.
What? This is our new critter. Oh, by the way, the raccoons are using our garden tools.
It is critter corner, y'all.
This is our new critter corner.
Oh, I love that tune.
It's such a bop.
Such a good. We should do that. Have you seen the trend on TikTok that it's like they pick a song and it's showing like the wedding party?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Critter corner.
We should. I don't know what's going on with that trend. I've seen people just do these finger things and be like the maid of honor.
This is what the maid of honor comes out to. They're just like timing the bridal party's entrance at a wedding to like fun songs.
To the lyrics of the song.
Yeah. Okay. Or like I would do it to like Sandstorm. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like ridiculous.
I see.
Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
It is, let's see, how many nights has it been? I think it's Friday night.
Yeah.
I am in bed.
Yeah.
And I wake up and Chip we're fine, guys, but occasionally one of us has insomnia or heartburn in this case. And so he was like, well, I'm not going to keep her up. I'm going to go like scroll in the living room.
Yeah.
Right. And so he was there and he'd fallen asleep on the couch, and I'm in bed and I wake up and I'm like, what is that noise? What is that noise? And it sounded like, I don't know, like eating. Right.
Oh, you're very attuned to that sound.
I'm very attuned to that sound. So of course I immediately go, two heads. Bean's not down there eating, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my God, is there like a rodent, a mouse, a something in here eating Beans' food?
Oh my God.
Terrifying, right?
Yeah.
I don't have contacts in.
Perfect setup. Okay.
I mean, like, again, this is where Chip listens to the pod and goes, I've been telling her to get LASIK for a decade. So I have my glasses. I'm like, oh no. Oh, no. Oh, no, Chip's in the other room. Oh, God. And so, but then I look and I realize Beans' food isn't on the floor. I had like removed it because Larry will sneak down and eat her stinky little kidney disease food.
He's a rascal.
He can't.
It's a rascal.
Get enough. To him, it's a delicacy. To us, it smells so bad.
Yeah, Larry was born like a 65-year-old man that goes to diners. Like that is his energy that he brings to the party.
Like he is looking at a menu with reading glasses.
He's like, I want smoked fish and I want a pickle.
He's a kraut boy. Yeah, he's a little kraut boy. In a different life, his name would be pierogi. But so I'm like, but it's not, what is this noise? And I'm like terrified to like get up and look.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
And I'm just like, oh God, okay, I'm just going to try. I was up for like 2 hours. I turned the lights on in the room.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, it's got to be something outside.
Yeah.
Like at one point I was like, is it hailing? You know, like it was just such like a random little noise.
Weird.
So I was like, it's something on the roof. Nothing's in here. Like nothing's moving.
Meanwhile, Chip's asleep on the couch.
On the couch,
room.
right?
Okay.
So I'm like, oh God. So I was like, it's so weird. Finally, after the sun comes up, I go to sleep. Right. So the next day I said to him, I was like, there was a weird noise here last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like terrified it was like a mouse or something, but there's no sign of a rodent.
Okay.
Like, you know, if a mouse was in there,
you'd see
droppings. There was no sign of a rodent. And I was like, what the heck? So that night, Chip wakes up.
Uh-huh.
And I wake up to Chip having a flashlight over by the door.
Okay.
And I'm like, he hears it too. Because it was like so hard to explain what the noise was, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, what the what? And so he's looking around. Then I see him grab my Louisville Slugger. Right? And he just,
big business.
And he just goes, how much information do you want? And I go, what? I don't know. He goes, go to the living room.
That is such an excellent question to ask in that situation, by the way.
How much information do you want?
Yeah.
So I go to the living room. It's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm terrified, right?
No.
And so he comes in and he's like, so basically our door, you know, I have like, not French doors, but like I have a door that's all like window and then like 3 other big windows, right? It all looks completely normal, like untouched. What happened is because of like the gutters and like when it rained for a million years, I guess there's been like water damage underneath. So what looked like a totally pristine like door was completely rotted in the inside. So there's this mouse that was going in, eating Shawshank redemptioning through the wood to get into the house, right?
I've never seen that movie, but I can assume.
He uses a spoon to break out of jail, right? Okay. Little by little, behind a poster.
An incredible story.
So he's like taking a chunk. In the course of 2 nights, this mouse has eaten through like basically the bottom of a window.
Oh no.
And the corner of our door. So now there's like a piece missing from our door. And I guess when Chip went and looked, he saw a little head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So at 6 a.m., I'm fucking terrified.
Of course.
I'm like, they're eating their way into our home?
No.
It's not like, oh, we left a window open. It's like they are infiltrating our foundation.
They're creating a system of tunnels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, your
right?
worst nightmare.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Chip goes to Home Depot at 6 a.m. Gets a trap.
When Chip needs to handle something, he handles business.
I said, are they even open at 6 a.m.? He comes back, he goes, they opened at 6 a.m. He was like, I was the first person and the first car there. So, you know, lifelong vegetarian. I don't want to hurt animals, but like we've got like a kill trap. Okay.
Yeah, that's for the best. We got it. Look, when we moved into our house years ago, we got those non-kill traps, and Elliot had to cover the rat in olive oil to free it from the trap and let it outside.
I forgot about your rat salad.
Yeah. So you've done the right thing.
Listen, okay, I haven't had a piece of meat in decades. But so he sets the trap and he's like, there's nothing we can really, he got this foam. So at least he sprayed this foam that expanded. So like they hole.
Can't get through it again.
And it was like specifically a repellent foam.
Okay.
Right? So like they hate the taste of it, whatever. Yeah. So he was like, well, the hole is plugged.
Yeah.
At least temporarily, we're good to go.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm going to go back to sleep. Right?
Yeah.
So he sets a trap up outside.
Oh no.
Goes to sleep. We get that fucker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I feel like the comments are going to really come for me. And then you know what? I'm here to face. I'm sorry, PETA.
Sorry.
So anyway, so I'm like, for you. But basically, long story short, my landlord had to come.
Yeah.
And like essentially, well, I didn't realize, start checking your floorboards. floorboard, it was like soft. Like it was rained out, right? And for who knows how long, because it didn't look any different.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know? So he had to like essentially carve out any of the rotten wood, replace all of it. He cut a chunk out of the door, replace the corner of the door. Like we're all sealed in now.
Wow.
And we're good to go.
He did it?
He did it.
Wow. And he's a dentist or something?
And he's a dentist.
Wow.
But
well, he knows how to seal shit. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about yours in a second.
Yeah, we got to.
So anyway, so I was just like, if that had happened 1 week later when Chip was abroad.
Oh my God.
I might have burned my house down.
You would have fled to the nearest Airbnb or hotel and you would have never come back.
Oh my God. And meanwhile, I'm like, excuse me, Isaiah from Orkin. Excuse me, the Orkin business that I've given so many shout outs. What the hell are you spraying? Because motherfucker was building an ant farm beneath our home.
Thank God there's only one.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
That could have been really, I was like, how long has this tunnel been getting carved out for?
No, that's the thing though. It's like, you know, there's no basements in LA. So like there's just the wood.
Right.
But so he had done that all in those 2 nights. So I had to like text pictures to my landlord and be like, hey, so this hole in our wall and door didn't exist 2 days ago. Who is this zombie ass mouse? That's just fully beavering. My home.
Wow.
A little termite.
Well, rest in peace.
So rest in peace. But also I have lost years off my life.
And also just the knowing that can happen is insane.
Oh my God. So I'm truly, well, I'm looking at other homes to move into.
This is the motivation you needed.
Listen, I've started looking at West Side rentals. I'll get a new mural for the background.
This is when you move to Asheville. This is the tipping point.
It was crazy. So I'm happy we're through it.
You survived. Congratulations.
But my God, if that had happened seriously 1 week later.
The timing of it is wild.
Grace, I would have lived at your house while you're abroad.
Yeah, that would have been fine. You could hang out with Pete, who's going to be watching Brock for us.
Sorry, I forgot there was already someone there. So anyway.
You and Pete hanging out would be hilarious.
Oh my God.
Okay, listen up. I'm going to tell you about a podcast that combines 2 of the things I'm familiar with. ADHD and relationships. Both of those things are in my ether. You know what can truly get weird? Dating. And if finding the perfect relationship wasn't weird enough, actually maintaining a healthy one can become a beast of its own too, especially when your brain is making it harder. That's why I want to tell you about a podcast that you should check out. It's called Sorry I Missed This, your everything guide to dating, relationships, and ADHD. There it is. Each episode joins host and sex educator Kate Osborne in real conversations about sex, relationships, and intimacy, but through a lens that you either haven't thought much about or have been dying to hear about. It's ends of the spectrum, ADHD. Sorry I Missed This is unraveling the weird and wonderful nuances of relationships and how to navigate them when you're dealing with ADHD. I think this is very relevant to our current generation, obviously, like how people pleasing can make a breakup even more excruciating, why touch can feel like something we're just putting up with, and why we change our interests based on the person that we're dating. Sorry I Missed This is a really accessible and helpful and educational way to learn about relationships through the lens of ADHD, something that I think touches a lot of us in this current age. So listen to Sorry I Missed This. Just search for Sorry I Missed This in your podcast app. That's Sorry I Missed This. Did you miss it?
Sometimes I, Mamrie Hart, who loves to cook and constantly thinks about food, gets overwhelmed with cooking. And here's why. Because there's so many possibilities all the time that I get like what to have for dinner paralysis. Well, luckily, I've discovered Taste Made, which helps clear the mind. It tells me what I want to make for dinner. And then, if this is not a meal delivery service, it shows you what ingredients you need. It can make like a grocery list for you. It has a tutorial video, exactly how long it's going to take to make it. Taste Made is like your new BFF to help you make dinner when you don't want a delivery system necessarily. I like to go to the grocery store, okay? This is my Zen moment. This is my meditation. I like to go and smell the tomatoes, okay? I like to feel up the melons for ripeness. Maybe get a little thump to see if it's good to go in there. And then come home and cook the meal. So Tastemade allows you to still go get whatever you need to get, but it helps you by making grocery lists and kind of just like streamlining the whole process. Let me tell you how it works. You make your profile. Okay. It's going to ask you what you want recipes for that week. Okay. Are you doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Do you just want it for just a couple lunches on days you know you're going to be busy? You put in how many servings, and then you put in your preferences. So I obviously put in vegetarian, but if Chip was doing keto, I'd add keto. Or I did vegetarian and I put vegetarian low calorie because I have been going crazy this summer from traveling and I need to cut back a little. So with those two things in mind, I got a recipe for honey ginger Buddha bowls. I got this gorgeous aglio olio pasta, some veggie fried rice. They will truly make figuring out what to have for dinner or breakfast or lunch that much easier. So give yourself some peace of mind with Tastemade. Plus, if you don't like what they brought you, you can easily swap or remove recipes with a little tap. You can use cooking mode so your screen stays on while you cook and your hands are dirty, and follow along with step-by-step recipe videos. So try Tastemade free for 7 days right now at tastemade.com/TMGW. As a listener, you'll get 40% off your first year. Cancel anytime, no pressure. If you do give it a shot, may I suggest doing the 5-spice cauliflower or the green goddess chopped salad? Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry. I do have another story.
Yeah.
That scared me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a spooky episode.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. There's no ghosts or anything. Chip and I went dancing on Saturday.
That's cute.
Yeah, we went to go see a DJ called Purple Disco Machine.
Fun.
That's like this German DJ. It's just like very fun. It's not like EDM. It's like remixes and things. And like,
damn, I would have loved that.
I know. And so Grace, she was out of town. That's why she didn't come.
Not there.
Yeah, I had mentioned it. But so it's like he has his own Sirius station and like Chip loves it. So it's very fun. So we went to this little like wine festival that a friend of mine who has this Good Boy wine, he throws this big festival. So we went, we got some little we got some sparkling wine. We bopped around. We had a good time. Cute. Saw a couple of you guys. At one point, we saw someone who was carrying a tote bag that is the name of the place we buy mushrooms from.
Fun.
And Chip was like, I got to say something. Right? So we go up and Chip's like, hey, insert name here. Do you work for them? Because we're big fans. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, me and my wife started the company. And then I was like, oh, and he was like, and this is Mamrie. And he was like, Mamrie Hart? Yeah. And you've come to the place and picked up the mushrooms before.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God.
Amazing.
I was like, celebrity sighting. But so we then went, we got like burgers and then we went dancing. But so I ate edibles. And
you never do that.
No. Well, but here's what's so great is we are at the little wine event.
Yeah.
And Chip's like, man, I should have gotten mushrooms for tonight. That would have been fun. And then he sees the bag of the company and so they gave him mushrooms.
Incredible.
Yeah. So it was amazing.
Incredible.
It was amazing. We were like,
the stars aligned.
We're like, you're legally selling mushroom tea at this wine event? This is perfect.
They were selling it? That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway.
See, we can't leave LA entirely.
I know. But so anyway, so I'm like, well, I'll have my little 10 milligram, edible, but I've, been drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like feeling a little, we are laughing so hard. Like,
of course.
At all, like so many people dancing. We're like, what is going on? Right. So I'm like, I'm going to go pee.
Yeah.
So I'm like really stoned. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go pee. And I go in there and there's these two girls beside me, in front of me who don't know each other. Mm-hmm. Like they clearly just got in line. They're both wearing like very like revealing things. And it was like, you're beautiful. Oh
my God. The power of when women come together in the bathroom and start uplifting each other is really a beautiful sight to behold.
But this didn't feel like uplifting. This felt like, are you guys going to fuck?
Oh,
a little
bit. Okay.
Or like, hey, let's get our
horny uplifting
boyfriends and like go home and like pull a full Mormon wife, right?
Wow.
So they're like, you're beautiful. Oh my God, you're so sweet. You're so beautiful. Oh my God. Like it was that, but like I saw 8 people come out of a stall. There were 8 stalls. And we were next in line.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm trying to go get back and hang out, you know. So I very normally just go like, hey, girls, there's like 8 stalls empty.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, thanks. And then, so I go too.
Yeah.
We go, And then they go to this same stall. Yeah. And then I hear one of them go, that bitch was kind of rude. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God, they're talking about me.
And then she goes, yeah, I think you should say something.
Oh my God.
And I am in the bathroom stall, high as hell, going, I'm going to get beat up.
Oh, the paranoia immediately.
So I'm saying, and they're like, yeah, you should say something. Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, yeah, the stalls were open. It took I wasn't being rude. First of all, I admit when I'm rude. I am literally like, should I pull my feet up? Like, I was like,
pretend I'm not here.
I stayed there an extra 5 minutes. Like, I waited for them to wash their hands, hang out, and eventually leave.
They won't be mean to me if they think I'm taking a shit right now.
Right, exactly. Or like they'll forget what I looked like, something. So I'm like,
wow.
Full middle school. I was like, oh my God. Oh no, the slutty girls are going to beat me. So I come out and Chip's like, hey babe. And I'm like, I got bullied.
Girls talked about bullying me. I heard 2 girls talk about bullying me.
They were going to confront me because I said, there's a lot of bathroom stalls open, ladies.
They might have been doing cocaine together in the bathroom. I don't know entirely.
So all night I'm like, and Chip's like, I'm sorry you had such a scary experience. But then the next day it became one of those things where it was like, scary or was I high?
Yeah.
Because normal Mamrie or like just having drinks Mamrie would have been like, I dare them to say something to me.
Yeah. Like that moment was so insignificant.
Yeah. Like who cares?
Maybe they were high and they got paranoid and it was because I'm like, that's such a funny thing, like such a neurotic thing to be like, that girl was rude. Wait, I should say something. Should I say something?
Yeah.
And to go back and
the
forth.
Other girl was like, I'll back you up. I was like,
oh, they're planning it.
Yes.
That's like a very neurotic thing to do. And it's very, very funny.
So I had a scary weekend. I had a great weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. Mouse got solved. DJ was a great time. But oh my God, I hadn't had the feeling like that. And like,
oh my God. Yeah. When you feel like you've done something wrong to someone when you haven't.
Well, I wasn't weirded out that like I'd been rude. I was more like,
right. When you know you haven't.
I was like, I don't know what drugs they're on.
Yeah.
These girls look like they went to the school from Euphoria.
Yeah.
I've never been in a physical fight.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to get in my first physical fight in this bathroom right now.
I waited it out.
Sometimes you just got to hang back and wait.
I like slipped out the door. And then when I exited the bathroom, I was like,
took someone's wig and put it on.
yeah. Just took toilet paper and made it look like hair.
Nothing to see here.
So it's been a doozy.
Wow. What an eventful weekend.
I know, right?
We had an eventful, we went to St. Louis. I'll talk a little bit about that.
Yes, please.
Thank you to everyone that came out to the show. It was, I think, one of the best ones yet. It was really fun, really cool. And then, the president of St. Louis Pride had reached out to me like a week or two before the show and was like, hey, City Winery reached out to me like a month ago saying that he reached out to them asking if he could present me with this community award, which just felt very like obviously so incredibly kind of them. And then also speaking of neurotic, just start overthinking of like, they want me to like announce at the show that they want to come up on stage and present me with an award.
Like, when do I do this in the context of this very full circle show?
But it was so sweet. Again, I teared up.
Of course you did. That's an incredible honor.
It was so, and I have a hard time processing those kind of nice things. And just being in a room full of just people that were so warm and lovely, and it just felt safe and like uplifting. Yeah. So it was really amazing. He was like, my husband has been a fan of you guys forever. And then they came to the meet and greet, and I met the husband in the meet and greet line, and he was beautiful gay man.
Oh, incredible.
I was like, wow, you guys are a handsome couple. And so sweet. And then he had like messaged me later, and I was like telling him thank you for the award and all that. And then I was like, let me look at earlier today. I was like, let me look at his profile. I never actually looked at his profile.
Snoop.
Big, beautiful gay ass. Incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Every picture is just his ass.
A plump, juicy butt.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
that's a lot of butt.
That's a lot of butt. And you've been a fan of me?
No ifs, ands, or buts. That's a crazy butt.
The most non-sexual person that's ever existed on the internet.
Wow. I mean, the highlights, you know how you'll have your little highlight reels?
I didn't click around.
Well, the names of them are jocks, thongs, briefs.
Yeah.
Petite Q.
Excellent.
Good for you.
I felt
nice butt.
Honestly, so honored. It made the honor feel even more incredible. Anderson, so thank you so much.
Wait, did you ask if we can be in a parade?
Well, it was their Pride weekend too. So that was like the kind of kismet thing of like, oh, we can present it to you at the launch of our Pride weekend because the show was on Friday night. And then they were doing festivities on Saturday, but we were hanging out with friends. Funny Fridays, shout out that we got to meet finally in person down in St. Louis. So we didn't get to go to like the actual Pride. It was also like so humid.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was like 90s and just like full humidity down there. So I was like, I don't know if I want to be like outside around everyone today. But it was so sweet. And they had like a plaque thing that I was like, oh my God, this is like a legit thing. How incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And St. Louis itself, such a fun, weird town. So like
I heard it's cool.
It's really cool. Fried ravioli is their thing.
Yes.
So like toasted ravioli is on like every menu. Gooey butter cake is also their thing.
Yes, I saw that recently. A girl I follow, Justine Snacks, she's from there, and she was going back there to do like a gooey butter cake ice cream collab or something. And I was like, what the hell is this?
We got in the first night and just ordered it off of room service randomly because we just wanted dessert.
Yum.
And then the next day, everyone was like, no, that's like the thing here. It's on every menu everywhere. And we were like, oh, because it was really fucking good for room service dessert.
Did you have any toasted ravioli?
Yeah. We got toasted raviolis too, and that was incredible.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, St. Louis, I was like really surprised. We went to a very mediocre casino. We saw a really shitty wax museum.
I prefer my wax museums to be bad.
This was almost a granny rant, but it's not even fully formed. I think wax museums should only be bad. I don't think we should try for good wax museums anymore.
No, I like when you go to a wax museum and it feels like it briefly melted.
Yeah, like it was in the sun a little bit, or the temperature of the room needed to be.
The power went out in the middle of summer and all of these got a little saggy. Or the ones like, you know, there's the rumor that at Disneyland, the presidential hall, whatever, that if you look at the Trump one, that it actually looks like Hillary because they had planned for Hillary. And then, so I like when you go to a wax museum and you're like, was this originally supposed to be Liam Neeson? Yeah. But now it's, you know, Tom Cruise?
I think they should do wax museums where the celebrities are close enough and there's no nameplates. So you have to guess who it is, and you do like a little quiz.
Wait, that's so fun.
You go around and you guess who you think everyone is, and then at the very end, they give you the answers so that you can see how close you were and how really off you were of some of them. I think that'd be a really fun installation art piece. Throwing it out there.
I think so too. And there is a very bad wax museum in Hollywood that I went to. Larry is trying to get in the door.
Our producer
says, ladies, I can't believe you went live without me.
I can't believe it.
But I'm like, now should I reach out to them and be like, hey, we've got an idea for an event?
I know. Well, let's see how this whole tablescaping competition goes.
We are in the thick of it.
Yeah. Again, like we said last week, directly off camera is a symphony of things and potential pieces that we might be using in this table. It's like things have to get really messy before they get clean, or whatever that thing is. Things have to break down before they come together.
Absolutely. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Not physically moving, but a lot of different things.
Though we thought about it.
And
it's not out of the question yet. There's still time.
But there's so many different things going to this tablescape, and I think it'll look great. I am getting nerves.
Me too. I'm getting nerves about the table, and then I'm going on like a family vacation with which I haven't done with my family in a really long time, and then I'm going to London and Edinburgh. So like there's a domino effect of things that are ultimately very exciting, but are giving me anxiety.
You're giving you have pre-book tour nerves.
Exactly.
You have like what I was sitting in March.
Yeah, I'm getting the thing at night where it's like I have to really try to put myself to bed immediately in that window where I'm tired, or the brain kicks back on and the anxiety thoughts start spiraling.
Listen, I've been on a little bit of a night owl kick.
Have you?
And I need to get back. Listen.
Well, you also were at a different time zone for a while.
And we had a break-in.
Yeah, that's true. You had what is objectively your worst nightmare.
My worst nightmare happened.
Yeah.
And then I almost got beat up by some drug addicts.
Yeah, and then your emotional worst nightmare happened where 2 girls thought you were a bitch for no reason.
Oh, and they were going to confront me. But no, I'm trying to, when Chip is abroad, and he'll be gone for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
So when or at least like 5 or 6 weeks. So when he's gone, we'll be on such different time zones that I feel like I'll be able to get myself back into working sleeping order.
Yeah.
I've just been a little rascally.
Good for you.
I think because he's leaving, it's been a little bit more like, yeah, let's have some cocktails. Yeah. I'll be like, let's watch another episode.
It's like that time before New Year's where you're like, I'm just going to let it all hang out. And then in January, I'll figure shit out.
Exactly. It's been like, well, you're leaving. So like, let's have fun. And it's like, you've been doing this for a month, Mamrie.
That's fine. It's fine. The pendulum will swing the other way.
I guess so. Oh my gosh. Are you nervous about traveling? Are you feeling good?
Feeling great. Feeling good about it. Just making sure on my paper, it's the administrative stuff now. Like I have to get an ETA. Well, I did get the European travel, whatever thing. And just getting the feeling of, what it's actually going to be like over there and how many shows to do. Cause that's what I've been doing these shows on and off. And then we'll do this one in Atlanta on Monday, which to get tickets, go Atlanta on Monday. And I keep telling myself, okay, when it's over, now imagine doing this again tomorrow and then again after that.
Yeah.
So it is like a mental crazy kind of thing. And I've been doing some press for it. So I've been doing some interviews over Zoom with some Scottish journalists.
Can you understand anything they say?
I can tell that they are talking slow and clear for me. So I'm going to be fucked when I'm over there.
Yeah.
Pure and simple, because I already think my hearing is kind of going because I listen to things too loud in my headphones, but I'm constantly getting that
the warning that
on
it's
my
like,
phone of like, you need to, your eardrums are going to explode.
We are opposites.
Really?
I will just drive in silence.
Well, I'll do that too.
Okay.
When I want to just like think about things. But yeah, when we did Ireland and everyone was coming up to us after the show for the meet and greet, it was comical how much I did not understand what anyone was saying to us. It was so sweet.
Don't be offended. With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to purge. Yeah, I want to refresh my closet, but I'm also trying not to waste money on stuff that I'm only going to wear once or just for one season. Well, that's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and the quality is beyond what you'd expect for the price. You feel like a real classy broad when you slip into some Quince. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that just clicks, okay? We're talking like 100% European linen tops start at $30, you guys. And these are tops that are going to last forever and also are kind of timeless. So it's not like you're buying some crazy print and then you're like, I can never wear this again. I was already photographed in it. They've got washable silk dresses and skirts, nice light things for the summer heat, and soft cotton sweaters, versatile, warm weather pieces you'll reach for again and again, because I might be wearing the linen out, but when I get home, I crank that AC. I want to slip into a soft cotton sweater. And by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. They make sure their factories use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I'm really digging the linen. I'm in my linen era, okay? Call me Diane Keaton. I got some pleated linen pants from Quince. Oh, baby, pleated? Excuse me, who is this adult woman and what business meeting is she late to, while also staying cool? Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/TMGW for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. You guys, that's an entire year. That's during this podcast, I forgot how many days were in a year. Well, now I know it because that's the returns policy. So quince.com/TMGW, that's QUINCE.com/TMGW to get free shipping and a 365-day returns. Quince.com/TMGW.
A lot of people aren't aware of how much they spend each month. Do you know how many subscriptions you're paying for? How about how much you spend on takeout or delivery? It's probably more than you think. I do that general, I sort of know method, but that's not the best way to do it. But there's an app designed to help you manage your money better. It's called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. They show you all your expenses in one place, including subscriptions that you forgot about. And if you see a subscription that you don't want, boom, Rocket Money can help you cancel it. The dashboard, it'll lay out your total financial picture, including bill due dates and paydays. Incredible. In a way that's really easy to digest, and you can automatically create custom budgets based on your past spending. And if you've got a goal that you'd like to save for, Rocket Money can analyze your accounts to find the best time each month to put extra money aside. And you can get alerts if your bills increase in price, if there's unusual activity in your accounts, or if you're close to going over budget. And even you can get an alert for doing a good job. Positive reinforcement. We love it. Rocket Money has 5 million members that have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, with members saving up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. I know it's helped me cancel a variety of subscriptions to editing apps that I no longer need or knew that I was paying for. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/TMGW today. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
What's up with your tooth?
Oh, my tooth. Yeah. So you
went this morning.
Finally have full mobility of my jaw again. So they put it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Elliot.
Yeah. For the blowjobs I never give. Sorry, TMI. He doesn't listen to this podcast, and that's his punishment. Is that I'm going to say whatever I want on it.
And Chip's listening, going, "Oh man, poor guy,
poor guy." TBD, which has become a thing in our house that we say TBD like Chip for some reason, by the way.
He said TBD?
One time he said TBD, I guess, and now Elliot and I say it to each other when we're not decided on something forever. Yeah, so I have a temporary, so they took the crown off this tooth because they found out. I went back to the dentist last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And they were like, I was like, it's discolored under there. Like,
yikes.
I'm worried you're going to pop it open. It's going to be like
a mouse situation.
Literally.
I'd be like, you've got damage on the whole foundation.
That's exact. Because I was like, it looks fine from the outside. But then when you look close, you're like, it's kind of discolored and darkened down there. And so they realized that like the crown there was a gap between the teeth.
This is literally the mouse situation.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so they were like, do you
want to get my dentist landlord who fixed the hole in my house?
Honestly, I should have just been going to him the whole time, probably. But they were like, okay, we'll take the crown off and we'll put a temporary crown on till we get your permanent crown made. Jesus. And in the meantime, if the pain still exists, then I'd have to consider a root canal.
Yikes.
So, and I couldn't get a gauge on the dentist today of like whether that is a reality because I'm in a time crunch. So they're already expediting this permanent crown for me to come back because I went this morning, have a temporary crown on now. I can't eat crunchy food.
I was going to say you're in a time crunch and you can't eat crunch.
So they say I'm just going to push it to the side of my mouth, which is what I've been doing.
Just soak it.
I just love crunchy food so much.
I know.
And so, yeah, in 10 days I go back, get the permanent one put on. But in the meantime, I have to see if like the pain is still happening. And if so, I have to get a root canal, which I've never gotten before.
No.
And I don't know.
I don't even know what it entails.
I just assume they go in there and scoop out the roots or something. I know.
Oh my God. Not a root scooting.
No. So the saga continues, but we're in a much better place. And the dentist is cool. She was like, are those the trail running Nikes, the sneakers that I have? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I just got those and blah, blah, was telling me all about them. And I was like,
I would have been like, focus on the teeth, honey. You've worked on the wrong one before.
She's actually cooler and nicer every time I go to her. So I'm just like, yeah, it's no problem. Whatever.
Wow.
It's all fine.
God.
So it's hopefully getting fixed.
Okay.
Hopefully before Edinburgh, especially before Edinburgh, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll just wait and ask them about this till like September.
And then you have a tooth fall off on stage.
Literally, it would be a disaster. Oof. So we're not doing that.
Okay. Well, I think we should get into some questions.
Yeah. Should we have a call in?
I think we should do it.
A question from a listener.
A question from a listener. Send us like a 30-second voice note and we'll play that.
Okay.
Love it.
This one's a minute, but I thought it was a very interesting question.
Okay.
Hey, Grace and Mamrie, thank you so much for hearing my question out. I've been a long-time listener, so to get your advice on this matter would mean so much. I've been newly appointed the theater teacher of my school that I've been working at for a couple of years, and this has been a long time coming, so it's been great. But I've been working alongside the music teacher for those past couple of years, putting on shows and musicals and stuff. And when I told her the news that I was going to be the full-time theater teacher, it seemed like she wanted me dead. So my question is like, how can I squash the beef that I have with the music teacher just so we can have like a harmonious like upcoming school year? Thank you so much, and I'm ready to hear your advice.
Okay, first of all, let me say, I want to go to lunch with you.
I know.
Love your vibe. Love your accent.
Great
Me
energy.
and you could really kiki an afternoon at a Hillstones establishment.
Oh my God. And
Okay.
also, you're telling me that the music teacher and the theater teacher are having drama between them.
Okay.
Were you a theater kid when you were in high school?
So I did plays, but here's the deal. It's like whenever I tell people when I'm like, oh yeah, no, I would do theater and I was a cheerleader. Like I was from such a redneck bad area.
Yeah.
Like the arts were not important.
Same.
Same. When people hear it, they're thinking Glee. They're thinking like Cheer. And I'm like, no, it was like the least, like serious. Like I did like one play or musical a year.
Yeah,
I wasn't like doing theater all the time.
Right. Okay.
But I will say the teachers, the theater teacher and the choir music teacher were very intense people.
Yes.
And I like you saying the music teacher wants you dead. I picture Miss Hollyfield.
Yeah, Miss Stanley.
Wanting Mr. Schober dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This all tracks. It's so funny how like almost not to minimize it in any way, but how much like cliche.
Right.
This is like an episode of Glee that is playing out before us. And kudos to you on the promotion, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats.
I'm sure well deserved. And also for wanting to be the big person.
Right.
And like squash this beef and have a harmonious year.
Here's
like
the thing is, just the idea that you're being like, how can we
instead of being like,
instead of saying like we gave advice a couple weeks ago of what prank should we do, and Grace was like, slash their tires,
put a mouse in the house, see what happens.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry if I got you
real.
karma.
Too real. So first of all, congrats. And also congrats on being the bigger person. I think I would you have a confrontation, or would you just be like, in the words of Jinx Monsoon, water off a duck's back. She's going to get over it. She's a little butthurt or a little jealous right now.
Probably that.
She's a little jealous. And you know what? She'll get over it. And maybe since you're doing the theater, I'm assuming there are musicals and you will be working together, and then maybe throw her a bone at some point and be like, hey, I'd really like your opinion.
Yeah.
On this year's play, something like that.
Someone in that position loves when someone wants to hear their opinion.
Yeah, like inflate her ego a little bit. And for her, she can, get a little ego inflation. I couldn't think of another
ego stroke.
An ego stroke. And for you, you can just be like, bless her heart.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
The first thing that came to my mind is like an edible arrangement. Don't hurt nobody.
It doesn't. I love an edible arrangement, but that would be like, hey, sorry you didn't get promoted arrangement. I don't know if she'd be offended.
How much of a sense of humor does this person have is my question.
True.
And how much can you be really blunt about this situation? Because part of me, again, in this phase of my life that loves just directness from people and appreciates transparency from people, that there's something about like saying to the effect, or writing in a card, or I don't know, putting it somewhere if it's not face-to-face confrontation, that like, this might be maybe a different adjustment for her than what she was hoping for, and that you really appreciate her support and you're excited for a great year, and that she's taught you so much while you've been working for her, and now you get to put it into practice in this new position, and the two of you working together will make the arts department
that much
better
stronger
than it ever could have been.
That much stronger. No, you're right. He probably shouldn't ignore it. I'm changing my advice to your advice.
But also ignore it if that's going to make it a thing.
No, but you don't want to have one more reason to dread work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if there's an elephant in the room, so maybe you're right. Approach it with kindness and compliments, for your sake, and maybe do it at like Chili's.
Yeah.
Over some like dollar margaritas
Get
or
some
something.
dollaritas.
Yeah.
Let her let loose a little bit.
That's what I'm
see what
thinking.
happens. And also it might just take time. Sometimes people need to process their emotions and go through the cycle of like, I'm mad. Okay, now I'm fine. Actually, he's going to do great and it's going to be great.
You don't know how long this person might have pictured that was their promotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So good luck.
Good luck.
Let us know what shows y'all are doing. And I mean, congratulations again. Don't let it ruin your moment.
Don't let it rain on your parade. Isn't that a musical?
Yes. It is a lyric of a musical.
Okay. I think I remember this one. Hold on. Here we go.
Hi, Grace and Mamrie. My name is Tyler. I am a longtime fan since the early days of YouTube. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not a Disney adult, but I recently went to a Disney resort where I witnessed something that I found truly fascinating, if not unhinged. I saw two people in their 30s clearly on a first date in a Disney swimming pool. So my question is, what first date location would be an absolute deal breaker for you?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, look, I support the Disney adult world.
I know you do.
I find their passion inspiring. So I think them in a pool on their first date, good for them.
Well, you're immediately going to see if you like each other's bodies.
Yeah. And also like the Disney adults that we have watched that are coupled up, like they could not be more perfect for each other.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You're matching your freak.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I say this as I did cameos yesterday with Chip dressed as Dragon Ball Z.
You guys are theater and Disney adjacent.
He would not claim that. But okay, what would be a deal breaker for someone to bring you to
MAGA rally?
I mean, yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I've gone to church with Elliot and it wasn't a deal breaker, obviously. I think.
Does he attend church?
No, it was his old church. It's a very progressive church out here. The pastor, Aaron, is really amazing. They opened up. We went on Easter Sunday, like right after I finished treatment.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's just go check it out. It would mean a lot to me. And I was like, yeah, totally. And I texted this is how different our families are. I texted my dad that we were going to church and he texted Ellie. He's like, I hope Grace didn't explode in flames.
Burst into flames.
He walked through.
Yeah, I think MAGA rally, 1,000%. You know what I could here's the thing. It wouldn't be a deal breaker for our relationship, but I would just refuse to go. Is if they took me to like a very scary haunted trail or like one of those like, hey, this place is so fucking scary that you get your money back if you get through it. I'd be like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, and here's your first lesson in me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry if it cost you money, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, probably like some sort of cheesy like Hollywood club or something, or like Hollywood pool party,
like
or
if they were taking it seriously.
Yeah, if this was like genuinely where they like to hang out, I would be like, we're different people.
Yeah.
But also the other thing that came to mind, and I don't know if this would be a deal. It would be dependent on the context exactly, but anything where it'd be like you're hanging out with their parents on the first date, or like their family, or some aspect of that. If people, I don't know if people even do that, but if it was like,
I agree.
come with my family to this thing, I'd be like, I love family, but I think there are degrees in which we can see them.
Yeah, that or also with siblings. I mean, like family in general. But there's some people that, we've seen it on Love is Blind happen before where it's like, well, I need the opinion of my sister, this and that. And
wow, that was insane.
I'm just very much like, I wouldn't want to be with someone who's like, I just love hanging out with my family all the time.
All the time. Yeah. I mean, I love family.
Closeness with family, fine. But people who are literally like, yeah, man, I just like, we love hanging out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, in like doses, right?
Right. As long as it's like not encroaching on the quality time that you spend with your potential date.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's like, it depends. If their family's cool, that's very easy to get along with.
You know what's another place that would be? I would like to go to this separately.
Yeah.
But if a date picked me up and I was like, what are we doing today? And they were like, we're going to this kids beauty pageant.
See, that would raise flags. Beige and red.
Yeah. Okay, so MAGA rally. Haunted place. I think like an intense church, not a cool church.
Mega church. Yeah. Even though honestly that would be fun. If they were going genuinely, if they were going not genuinely, that would be fun.
Well, everything in the context of irony
makes
it okay. But if someone was like, hey, it's our first date, so you might as well know I love children's beauty pageants.
Right. That would, be tough to work around.
Yeah. And they were like, I just think they have so much poise.
Odd. Yeah, that would be a confusing one to get on board with.
Could you deal if it was like a furry convention?
If it was like dependent on if it was like their interests, and I love hobbies and passions, obviously, but they'd have to understand that like I probably wouldn't share in this. I'd be supportive depending on if I like this person.
That's true too.
It's like, how much do I actually like this person?
How much are you looking through the rose-colored glasses of a crush versus like, oh, we chatted for 2 seconds on a dating app. I'm gonna fucking leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I'm thinking like, oh, I would also hate on a first date to go to like the fanciest restaurant, like the most pretentious sort of like environment.
I'd love it.
Would you? I mean, depends on the person, right? That you're with, I guess. Yeah. I guess I just picked in my mind, created some sort of pretentious person that went along with that.
Well,
a Jeff Bezos party.
Right. Oh my God, that wedding. Oh my God, that wife.
They have the worst taste.
The worst taste. I saw someone say, how does $50 million look so cheap?
It is like shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I almost made a video like going over her wedding dress, but
I think Chris Clemens is doing a roast of people's outfits.
I think it's already done. Yeah, I realized that it was 4 days ago, and I was like, oh, that's already so late.
That's literally 4 years in internet time. Guys, we are a week and a half away from the tablescaping competition.
It is really
crept up.
Yeah, really
I know.
Quickly.
And you've been good about being like, hey, we need to do stuff. Hey, we need to do stuff.
I think we're in a good place. I don't feel too nervous about like, I'm just eager and excited to put it all together. This weekend, we're going to like really set it up and see how it all looks and make sure that we have everything we need.
Execute. Yeah, there isn't a glaring omission. And you know what it feels like? It feels like we've got all the toys. Yeah. We just need to do the Santa night before of putting them together.
Yeah, exactly. And see like, oh, what areas need more something or whatever. So it's just like,
I just can't wait for these people to see it.
I know. I'm so eager now to see what other people are going to be setting up. And like, I can't even imagine. Find Your Happy is
vague.
Such a vague thing.
Like, are there going to be tables that are just like smiley faces?
Right?
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Or are people going to take this really personally? I have no idea. Are we going to see a lot of psychology on these tables? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, but we are very excited.
Yeah.
Congrats again on the award.
Thanks. I feel like I share it with you by default of being able to create this community that it feels so fun. So it is, very cool. Speaking of community, we're going to go do a Patreon live stream. Don't forget, we have a Patreon.
Yeah, we have Patreon. Patreon.com/this might get weird, where we put up additional things. We have our Barflies book club. We have live streams. We have this podcast without any of the ads. Yeah. You can listen to it there. But no, we have one one in about 15 minutes with a smaller group. And then another one, we're doing a little happy hour cocktail time.
Woo-woo.
And so we got to go do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can say with certainty, glad I didn't get beat up. Glad I didn't. I don't have a mouse in my house. This got weird.
This might get weird.